Police tonight as they investigate the disappearance of WA toddler Cleo Smith. Ben Downey is live for us from Carnarvon. Ben, what can you tell us?
Evening, Ange. We've just had an update from police that's had some pretty explosive revelations. I'll walk you through them now. The first and the largest is that the zipper required to open that tent that Cleo was sleeping in on Saturday morning was too tall for her to reach, meaning an adult had to have opened that tent. It's made more explosive, I suppose, when added to the fact that police say the accounts of both of her parents are rock solid and their movements were not suspicious at all, leading investigators to believe it's increasingly more likely a person that's a third party had opened that tent on the night of Cleo's disappearance. Another revelation that came out of this latest update from investigators is they currently have no formal suspects if it is the case that Cleo has been abducted. They do, however, have a broad group of people, but what they're doing right now is they're clamping down on a group of between 10 to 20 known sexual predators that live inside this Midwest Gascoyne region of WA, retracing their steps, making sure they were nowhere near here from the Friday to the Sunday that's just been passed. There has been some good news, though. Investigators are saying that they've had some breakthroughs with CCTV footage that's been collected from service stations in about 1,000-kilometre radius around here. That's what's they've been able to use to develop that broad group of people that they're now starting to get in touch with. And with saying all of that, while there are some serious developments here, police are taking the prospect that Cleo has wandered off just as seriously. The search has expanded again today. It's clocked up more than 20 square kilometres. The Army has joined the search as well. They're using thermal drones that can work in the night, but so far, still no sign of Cleo. Ange?
Significant developments there. Thank you so much, Ben Downey. As police race against the clock to find Cleo, a retired British police officer who worked on the Madeleine McCann case has shared his insights into how the investigation will develop.
Well, there'll be a senior officer who's got all sorts of facilities available. So there'll be a fingerprint expert, DNA expert, CCTV, images, mobile phone tracking expert. All these people will be given different tasks. So if you look at the tent, for example, it looks very likely that she has been abducted. So they'll be going through that tent with a fine-tooth comb, looking for any fingerprint and DNA that doesn't match the family or as a stranger, basically. With the mobile phones, looking for mobile phone activity in the area at that time, CCTV or images. So you've got things like dash cams these days. People have got all sorts of filming on their mobile phones. And sadly as well, that we've already seen that the biological father's been interviewed because the police can never rule out that angle. A study in the States found that 61% of children were killed by their parents. So it really is quite sad, but it's an uncomfortable thing. But the police will have to speak to the parents and any relatives to see if there's anything there as well. And they'll also be looking at known sex offenders in that area, people who've offended in a similar manner, abduction of children, and they'll be going through all the files of that. They'll also be looking, I've no doubts, across Australia. They'll be working with other Australian law enforcement agencies to see if there's been any similar incidents, and also, if need be, internationally. When things like this happen, you can consult with Interpol or the Yard or FBI or no doubt the Australian Federal Police to see when this has happened before and what best practice has been done to find a child or prove an abduction. So those facilities will be available to that senior officer who's sat in that command post. So if she's been abducted, then there's every possibility that she is alive, and the police will not give up on that. Just like the Madeleine McCann case, you cannot just write off a child. And I've got 4 children, how many you've got? And I don't know. We would never want that to happen.